So Wave 15, we're still there. Now we enter the year 2004. Return to Angel Island, the Sonic Archie comic, where you got the return of the Chaotix once again. And their art on the cover of these Archie Sonic comics in particular in 2004, they got that art from Sonic Adventure to the way they look, especially on the front covers of those issues in 2003, 2004. Very, very cool. Once again, the fact that their art is the same design, it just shows how they were blending the comics with the games. So then after that Archie comic, we got the next chapter is Sonic Battle. For the Game Boy Advance, because it's 2004. And Shadow is, still around, of course. Great title. You got Emerald or Ermel, the orange robot character, which his storyline is very similar to E102 Gamma, and even Shadow the Hedgehog's storyline. So there is actually a story to Sonic Battle, and it's great. So, perfect. Next chapter is an Archie Sonic comic, where it was a three-parter called The Good, the Bad, and the Unknown, where it's got Sonic fighting Metal Sonic and Shadow. And here you have the front cover that is the same style of artwork from the artwork of Sonic Battle. They're mimicking that, and that is really frickin' amazing. Shadow's got that green beam on his hand. It's great. So, it takes place right after the events of Sonic Battle, because of the same art, and it's still 2004. So really, this comic in particular expands the storyline of the stuff that happens after Sonic Battle, where they're still fighting. So the next chapter I'm going to say is Sonic Advance 3, 2004. Wave 16, we now enter 2005, and we come with the controversial Sonic game, Shadow the Hedgehog. That's the next chapter. I actually really like this game. I think it's a good game. It's good, but it's got flaws, but I don't think it's a bad game. I think that's going way too far. I would actually argue Shadow the Hedgehog is probably the last good Sonic game, or you could say Sonic Unleashed was the last good Sonic game. I would say Unleashed was like the last gasp, but really the last adventure good Sonic game that feels amazing in the adventure style is Shadow the Hedgehog. Next chapter, we have Sonic Rush 2005, where Sonic meets Blaze the Cat, another great Sonic character. Next chapter, we have 2006, we have the original Sonic Riders. I love this game, it's a classic. We're introduced to the bird characters, and you got the storyline going on here, and this is the beginning of Sonic Riders. So, awesome, 2006. Next chapter, we have Archie's Sonic comic, where it's now the 15th anniversary because it's 2006, and this Sonic comic introduces one of the greatest Sonic characters of all time, Scourge the Hedgehog. I love Scourge the Hedgehog. He's like another awesome, cool version of a Hedgehog character that rivals the coolness of Sonic and Shadow, and he's green, and he has his own group of freedom fighters, and they're not called that, but he has his own evil group that are kind of like evil versions of the freedom fighters in the Archie comics. Scourge the Hedgehog was a big deal for me back in the day. I just loved this character, and it's just annoying that only the fans put him in the games with mods and hacks and stuff in the adventure games. I really wish that Scourge was in the games, and he still could be. But this was the golden age of Scourge. This is when Scourge emerges and becomes such a great, underrated Sonic character. And I just love that title on this cover. There's a new kid in town. Perfect. Wave 17, we have Archie Sonic comic, issue 163, where Ignis, that monster guy, he returns once again. So, he's still important, and he returns in 2006. And yeah, the next chapter after that we have Sonic 06. For better or for worse, it does have a storyline that is interesting with Mephiles the Dark. And Sonic 06 has now been repaired by the fans in like this new edited version of Sonic 06. So, and also, I just want to quickly say back in the day, like Sonic 06 it wasn't totally terrible. It has good things in the game. But anyway, let's just move on. That's Sonic 06. It's part of the storyline. Wave 18. We have 2007 now, after Sonic 06. This is the second time that Sonic remarries Sally Acorn. So anyway, the next chapter after that is Archie Sonic Comics, issue number 178, where Sonic argues and fights with Tails. Sonic vs. Tails, Friends No More. This was one of the darkest and coolest Sonic Archie comics ever. Something they never did in the games, and it just goes to show how it's just interesting to see them like this, because they never did stuff like this before. And I remember this being it's like an emotional issue with the stuff that happens in it. And like that goes back to what I was saying before, like you'd never fucking see a Mario game where Mario and fucking Luigi like hate each other and they fight each other. Nope, only in Sonic though. Another example of how Sonic's better than Mario. So anyway, the next chapter is issue number 181 of Archie's Sonic from 2007. Who is Enerjack? Enerjack is this mysterious, extremely powerful echidna, and a lot of Sonic fans argue that Enerjack is the most powerful villain they ever faced in Sonic history. And Knuckles fights him too, and it's so badass. This is the Enerjack era. I think Enerjack was around for like 3 issues or something like that in 2007.